I landed at the feet of a skeleton warrior who hissed. "An intruder!" the general growled. "One cloaked in darkness! Seal the doors!" "It's Percy Jackson!" Luke yelled. "It has to be!" I sprinted for the exit, but heard a ripping sound and realized the skeleton warrior had taken a chunk out of my sleeve. When I glanced back, he was holding the fabric up to its nose, sniffing the scent, handing it around to his friends. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. I squeezed through the door just as the guard slammed it shut behind me, and then I ran. Chapter 10. I break a few rocket ships. I tore across the mall, not daring to look behind me. I burst into the Air and Space Museum and took off my invisibility cap once I was through the admissions area. The main part of the museum was one huge room with rockets and airplanes hanging from the ceiling. 3 levels of balconies curled around, so you could look at the exhibits from different heights. The place wasn't crowded, just a few families and a couple tour groups of kids, probably doing one of those holiday school trips. I wanted to yell at them to leave, but I figured it would only get me arrested. I had to find Thalia and Grover and the hunters. Any minute the skeleton dudes were going to invade the museum, and I didn't think they'd settle for an audio tour. I ran into Thalia, literally. I was barreling up the ramp of the top floor balcony and slammed into her, knocking her into an Apollo space capsule. Grover yelped in surprise. Before I could regain my balance, Zoe and Bianca had arrows notched aimed at my chest. Their bows had just appeared out of nowhere. When Zoe realized who I was, she didn't seem anxious to lower her bow. "You! How dare you show thy face here?" "Percy!" Grover said. "Thank goodness!" Zoe glared at him, and he blushed. Gosh, you're not supposed to be here." "Luke," I said, trying to catch my breath. "He's here." The anger in Thalia's eyes immediately melted. She put her hand over her silver bracelet. "Where?" I told them about the Natural History Museum, Dr. Thorne, Luke, and the General. "The General is here?" Zoe looked stunned. "That is impossible. You lie." "Why would I lie? Look, there's no time. Skeleton warriors." "What?" Thalia demanded. "How many?" 12, I said. "And that's not all. That guy, the General, he said he was sending something, a playmate, to distract you over here. A monster." Thalia and Grover exchanged looks. "We were following Artemis's trail," Grover said. "I was pretty sure it led here. Some powerful monster sent it. She must have stopped here for the mystery monster, but we haven't found anything yet." "Zoe," Bianca said nervously, "if it is the General—" "It cannot be," Zoe snapped. "Percy must have seen an iris message or some other illusion." "Illusions don't crack marble floors," I told her. Zoe took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. I didn't know why she was taking it so personally, or how she knew this General guy, but I figured now was the time to ask. "If Percy is telling the truth about the skeleton warriors," she said, "we'll have no time to argue. They are the worst, most horrible. We must leave now." "Good idea," I said. "I was not included in thee, boy," Zoe said. "You are not part of this quest." "Hey, I'm trying to save your lives." "You shouldn't have come, Percy," Thalia said grimly. "But you're here now. Come on, let's go back to the van." "This is not thy decision," Zoe snapped. Thalia scowled at her. "You're not the boss here, Zoe. I don't care how old you are. You're still a conceited little brat." "You never had any wisdom when it came to boys," Zoe growled. "You could never leave them behind." Thalia looked like she was about to hit Zoe. Then everybody froze. I heard a growl so loud I thought that one of the rocket engines was starting up. Below us, a few adults screamed. A little kid's voice screeched with delight. "Kitty!" Something enormous bounding up the ramp. It was the size of a pickup truck, with silver claws and golden glittering fur. I'd seen this monster once before. 2 years ago I'd glimpsed it briefly from a train. Now, up close and personal, it looked even bigger. "The Nemean lion," Thalia said. "Don't move." The lion roared so loud it parted my hair. Its fangs gleamed like stainless steel. "Separate on my mark," Zoe said. "Try to keep it distracted." "Until when?" Grover asked. "Until I think of a way to kill it. Go!" I uncapped Riptide and rolled to my left. Arrows whistled past me, and Grover played a sharp tweet-tweet cadence on his reed pipes. I turned and saw Zoe and Bianca climbing the Apollo capsule. They were firing arrows, one after another, all shattering harmlessly against the lion's metallic fur. The lion swiped at the capsule and it tipped on its side, spilling the hunters off the back. Grover played a frantic, horrible tune, and the lion turned towards him. but Thalia stepped into its path, holding up a geas, and the lion recoiled. Roar!